Hi there, welcome to another Q&A with Mike, and today we're going to answer a few questions in one go, so let's get straight into it with a question from Music in the World, who asks, what is the biggest misconception about vintage Stratocasters? Well, we think one of the biggest misconceptions about vintage Stratocasters is they don't stay in tune. They do, but they need to be set up very well. They need to be set up properly. The trem block needs to be set up basically as Leo Fender wanted you to. Once that's done, then they will stay in tune and they'll work extremely well. If you have any problems about setting up your Fender Strat, then you need to speak to our chap David, who does our tech stuff here. So, next question is from Jammin UK 19, who asks, do certain years with RE boards have less of a neck taper than others? Now, Jammin 19, I believe when you said RE, you probably mean rosewood, possibly, hopefully. Anyway, neck tapers, they really came to the fore with Gibson in the mid-60s. From 1966 through to 1970, Gibson started playing around with their neck profiles quite a bit, and they introduced what's now become known as the slim taper, which is the mother of all neck tapers, if you're into your neck tapers. This was quite a short-lived experiment, and it most famously was used on the SGs of that period from 66 to 1970, where you'll find not much thickness at the nut end, tapering up to quite a big chunky neck heel past the 12th fret. I don't think many people actually liked that, so they tended to taper off the neck taper production from 1970. So if you are looking for a good taper, then those are ones to seek out. Next question we have from Back to Black 5, who simply puts, 70s Fenders, hit it or quit it? Well, quit it, generally speaking, I would say. We've had 70s Fenders here and they don't sell. The value creeps up very, very slowly, but nothing like the 60s Fenders do. So if you're looking for an investment, quit it. If you're looking for a player guitar, then fine, they did some good stuff up until about 1974. From 1974 onwards, quality control just slipped drastically, and I would really forget it, even as a player, from then onwards. However, I'm sure I'm going to be showered with lots of comments from people who have got mid to late 70s Fender Strats who think they're brilliant. And yeah, there's probably a few out there, but generally, on the whole, they were pretty poor at that point. So next question is from HC Dubs, who asks, why is there such a big drop-off in quality and price in pre versus pro CBS Strats but not Tellies? Well, that's an interesting question. There is a difference, but not as much as you might think. There is a difference in quality, that's for sure, and the reason for that is Strats were huge back in the 70s. Tellies not so. So to keep up with the insatiable demand from the public for Fender Strats, CBS had to ramp up production quite a lot, and by doing that they probably weren't quite ready to increase production that much. They slipped out on the quality control side of things, and that is for sure, as I've answered in a previous question. Tellies were more of a they didn't sell that well in the 70s. There were not many great players using Tellies back then, so I guess people on the production line had more time to finish a Telecaster and to finish it properly. So another point is that with a Stratocaster there's more to get wrong. Basically, there's more moving parts, there's much more hardware which requires setup. Compared to a Telecaster, it's pretty much a bolt-on, bolt it together, solder up and play, but a Stratocaster needs setup, it needs more precision than a Telecaster, and I think that's why you find sloppy manufactured Strats, which are probably just not set up properly. Hopefully that will answer your question. Next question is from Stephen MMRS26 or something like that, who asks, which year of precbs strats have the slimmest necks? That's a good question, Stephen, and one I'm happy to answer. If you're looking for a slim neck strat, you want to be looking from 1958 through to 1962. They are the slimmest, without a doubt. If you're looking for a maple neck precbs strat with a slim neck, look from 1958 to 1959. If you want a rosewood board slim neck strat, you need to look from 1959 through to 1962. They all will vary slightly, but generally the rule is those years will have the slimmest necks. Prior to 58 we had the V profile and we had a lot chunkier necks, and then post 62 we started to get a little bit thicker in the 63, 64 type profile. Next question we have from Kieran South, who asks via YouTube. Hi Mike, my question is, how often do you see customers return vintage guitars after a short period of time owning them? If the answer is often, why do you think this might be? Loving the videos, keep it up. Well, thank you, Kieran. Good question. Answer to your question is hardly ever. I can't remember the last time we had somebody return a vintage guitar after a short period of ownership. Maybe once or twice a year, possibly, out of 200 or so, 250 we sell. So it's a very, very small proportion. If somebody returns it, it's usually within the 2-week, 14-day grace period we allow when delivery has happened, and it's normally because they just basically don't get on with it, and if we send them a Strat, they decide they want a Les Paul or a Telly, so we'll take it back and we'll exchange it within that 14-day. But we don't see anyone really returning guitars after owning them for a short time. Most people we sell to will hang on to them, and they will increase in value, and more often than not, if they come back to us in 2 years' time, we'll give them what they paid for them, because usually they will have gone up in value. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you can, and give us a thumbs up if you like this. If you have any other questions, then just leave a comment below or send us a message on Instagram, on Facebook, or even send us a message through email. Okay, thank you.